Welcome back. You're watching Closing Trades on ET now. We have a steady market at hand, just 0.25% gains coming in for the Nifty and the Sensex. But it's all about corporate earnings then, because that's really been the big mover for the equity market. So let's address the numbers of Metropolis. Quite a healthy set. From the diagnostics provider. There's recovery in the non-COVID segment as well. Let's welcome on the show Ameera Shah, the MD of Metropolis Healthcare. Hi Ameera, good to have you with us. So to start with, I think the highlight was the sort of, recovery you saw in the non-COVID segment. So let's talk about that, and also, of course, what you witnessed in the COVID segment in the third quarter.
Sure. So if you look at our Q3 numbers, 81% has come from non-COVID, about 19% is the COVID PCR portfolio. While of course we are seeing things come close to normalcy, I don't think in the healthcare industry all things are back to normal yet, because of course hospitals continue to take care of COVID patients, and therefore non-COVID are still reluctant to come to the hospitals. I think till vaccination starts and I think the sentiment starts improving, I don't think we will see a complete 100% normalcy yet. So I think maybe another quarter or so to go. But of course we are seeing sort of a progress quarter by quarter where more people are coming into healthcare services. So hopefully Q4 will see that reflection as well.
So, Ameera, you brought about a lot of cost rationalization initiatives. So what are the benefits that we have seen of that in the third quarter?
See, some of the costs that have come down is, the cost benefit of the margin expansion is beneficial of three things. One is, of course, economies of scale. You have a lot more samples coming into similar infrastructure, which gives economies of scale. Number two is the channel and product mix that you as a company deploy. And number three is your own cost control initiatives. So I think as far as the economies of scale piece, of course, we are seeing that coming down as the COVID volumes are decreasing. We will see that benefit move away from the P&Ls of all companies. The cost control initiatives and the channel and product mix is in our control. So those, I believe, can continue and are more sustainable.
Right. For COVID, a lot of it also, I just wanted to understand what is it that we can see in terms of volumes, and whether do you see them coming back that sans corona as well?
I think COVID will continue to definitely be a product within the portfolio. I think it will continue to play an important role, yes, but not as significant as it is now. Right now, obviously, it's like I said, 19% COVID PCR, which I think will keep moving down. I think in Q4 itself, we'll see a dip. And look, I think region to region, we have to remember healthcare is a hyper-local industry. So in every city, corona is playing a very different role, whether in terms of when it peaks or whether volumes go up. And even equally, how non-COVID patients are behaving, because that depends on how the government has enforced lockdown in those cities. So I think it's difficult to generalize, but broadly I would say COVID volumes will continue over the next few years, but of course is a much smaller part of the portfolio compared to today.
Okay. Ameera, also want you to understand whether there are any integration/acquisition plans, and if there is something in the works, what's the revenue potential?
So it's still a bit early to talk about that for the reason we would like to first close the transaction and then probably come back and share more details. But strategically, I can tell you that, South India is an important market for us, and the company that we've announced to acquire is strategically placed in two of the cities in South India, which are focus cities for us. And we believe in our industry, having a large market share in certain cities definitely helps from a profitability as well as a value matrix, and you're able to give much more benefit to the consumer as well. So I think these are some of the things that we are looking at, and of course we'll be happy to come back with more details post-closure.
Okay, so there has been a shift any which ways in the industry from unorganized to organized. Do you think COVID has accelerated that shift, Ameera?
I think it's very difficult to quantify at this time because there's no hard data out there. But I think what anecdotal evidence that we've seen on the ground is a lot of the smaller labs have found it difficult to financially survive during this period. Some of them have shut down. I think consumer behaviors are changing where they're wanting more technology and convenience to drive things for them in the future. Earlier days, people were comfortable going to a lab next door where they knew the pathologist or the person who was there at the front desk, and that comfort gave them sort of the reason why they went. And I think now technology, home services, I think these things will play a probably more important role in consumer behavior going forward. So we will definitely see some strategic shift in the industry. But of course, it's not going to be a hockey stick. It will take some time to play out.
All right, Ameera, it was great to have you with us. Thanks so much for joining us, and just giving us a sense of what the diagnostics industry is looking like. Crucial times, of course, for them. That was just an outlook from Ameera of Metropolis Healthcare. Well, from earnings delivered to earnings expected, lots of names today from the cement